Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Right back with another lesson, and this is going to go over diseases, okay, particularly sexual transmitted diseases. All right, so we're going to start off with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61. It says, "Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in a book of this law, it says, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed." Okay, so every sickness, all right, whether you get sick or in any way, shape, or form, all right, ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Shah did it. All right, he put that upon you. Okay, all right. And one disease that I want to get is this right here. Okay, now this is called condylomatus, condylomatus, condylom, uh, condyloma, or condylomatose, uh, condylomatose. I think that's how you say it. Condylomatose. Condylomatose. All right. So like, yeah, condylomatose. That's what it's called. All right. And this is a sexual transmitted disease. It consists of two diseases. I think one says syphilis and some other disease. All right. So we're gonna read here. It says condyloma. It says is also known as genital warts. Is a sexual transmitted disease caused by the human uh, papa, papilloma virus, or HPV. Okay, let's look at the causes. It says genital warts are spread by sexual contact with an infected partner and are very contagious. It says they often appear within 3 months of contact. Condoms can help, it says, but do not assure prevention, although much remains to be learned about it. All right, so this. I have some pics. Now, how I found out about this disease, I didn't know nothing about it. Was through this website. I can't really say, because YouTube, but pretty much on this website, all you see is judgments, people getting put to death, beheadings, and sexual assault, just all kinds of judgments being handed out. People dying. All right, and I came across this this link, okay, and it showed this woman's vaginal area, which you'll see it in this video. I'll put the pic up, but I'll try to cover up for YouTube's sake. All right, but you see, it's completely disgusting, man. It's a terrible disease. Not only is it a genital wart, but it also appears in your anal cavity. Okay, and it is absolutely disgusting. All right, and the thing about this disease is that you can't get rid of it. Like, they can remove the warts, but you still have the disease, and you can still infect people. Okay, now what I want to get is this screenshot I took. Okay, all right. So it says is condyloma always contagious? It says once you have the virus, you're always infectious. Okay, it says you can spread it to others. It says even if you don't have symptoms like visible genital warts, or you have the warts removed, you can still infect another person with HPV and genital warts. So yeah, there's people walking around here, all right, with these genital warts, or better yet, they get the warts removed, but they can still infect other people. Okay, and man, judging by how this world is, man, how sick it is. Adultery is huge. In America, Babylon the Great, and that's also the reason why the Lord said that this place is polluted, not only through these women, all right, and these people out here, okay, but it's also spiritually, all right, with the way how society is ran. It has all different types of religions, which you can compare to men, you know, or America is the woman, and these other nations are represented as men, and they all what come through America. They come and they make their money, okay, and then what do? They go back to their own country. Okay, so it's like committing adultery. You got one woman, which is America, and these other nations that are men, and they're just running through this place. And that's the reason why people are bugged the hell out. Okay, and this place is, in a way, spiritually diseased. Got all kinds of diseases and stuff like that because it's filled with abominations and abominable works. Okay, so Another screenshot I want to get is this right here. Now it says, usually the body's immune system gets rid of the HPV infection naturally within 2 years. It says this is true of both oncogenic and non-oncogenic HPV types. It says by age 50, it says at least 4 out of every 5 women would have been infected with HPV at one point in their lives. And yeah, so that goes to show, man, hey, it's better to be by yourself, and I'm glad, that I'm by myself, although I burn every once in a while because we're men, we're men, okay, we like women, but all in all, when you really look at the spectrum of everything, you have, this knowledge, and you looking into this stuff like this, hey, you're very blessed, man. Okay, if you don't, if you ain't been, dabbling around with these women that's out here, man, because they got all kinds of diseases that you don't even know about. Okay, from just in women, they slept with hundreds, thousands, and thousands of men. Okay, so they got all kinds of mess going on. And these women don't care, man. All right. So it says 4 out of every 5 women, and that's Babylon in a nutshell. That's America. Okay. Overseas, you better off going overseas. All right. But it says will have been infected with HPV at one point in their lives. HPV is also very common in men and often has no symptoms. Okay. So yeah, it's dangerous out here, man. But ultimately, the Lord did that, man. He put that upon men. Okay. So now we learn about this. Now another disease that I wanted to get, all right, is this. It's called ovarian teratoma. Okay. And I learned about this last year. All right. I did a lesson. I think I did a lesson going into this. I can't quite remember. But it says, can it contain teeth, hair, and other organs? So basically, what this disease is that when these women that's sleeping around, okay, they saying it's a rare case. I don't know how often this happens, but with all the different seeds of men that she slept with, basically fighting for dominance in her womb, all right, and so-called, I guess, trying to create a baby, or so to speak, it can come out as like a monster. It says it contains teeth, hair, and other organs, inside her ovaries. Okay, that's why it's called ovarian teratoma. Okay, and terror sounds like terror, like something scary. So it says, let me see. So ovarian teratoma, and now here it says an ovarian teratoma is an embryon, embryonal, embryonal tumor that contains various cell types. Okay, teratomas typically appear in ovaries, although it is possible for them to be localized in males and children, particularly in the testes and other body parts. But ultimately, what I want to get here is this. And remember, I talked about this. I think this is my last video going into adultery. It says, do women retain DNA from every man they have ever slept with? Now, you look down here and it say false, right? See, and this is the reason why you can't trust Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and his science and his philosophies and doctrines. Okay, you look here, look at this, look what this says, right? So it says, that made the claim that a new study demonstrates that cells transferred from a man to a woman during intercourse become integrated into a woman's body after sex every single time. So they're saying that this is true. So the cells can be transferred from man to woman. Okay, but you go over here, and what does it say? An ovarian teratoma is an embryonal tumor that contains various cell types, which is what different men that she slept with. Okay, that's why it's imperative that you women don't sleep around, man. All right, you deal with one man. Okay, every man you sleep with, you gaining their spirit, man. That's why you women are bugged out. All right, online talking crap and complaining. When not realizing that you're the problem. Okay, all right. And what do they say? They can't pair bond. Okay, so yeah, you get. So in other words, you do retain the DNA. This is false, man. Trying to disavow that. Oh well, no, that's not true. the woman doesn't retain the DNA of every man they slept with. But then what is it saying here? Talking about the cells being transferred. But then you go to over teratoma. All right, it's talking about cell types, which means that it causes disease, man. All right. So um, what else I want to get here is man, this is disgusting. Let me see. Hold on. All right, you can look at these photos. Um, and it got teeth and stuff in it and flesh. All right, and it reminds me of this right here. Okay, this show called Berserk. Okay, Casca, Monster Child. All right, this Casca is one of the characters in this anime. Okay, and they haven't animated it on the show yet, but I found this in the book. Okay, you check this out. All right, over here. All right, Demon Child. Okay, and basically, if you watch the show, Berserk, in the end of the last episode, Casca, which is one of the main characters, and Guts is actually the main character, and Casca is the love interest of Guts. They got together, they had sex or whatever, right? And then it says the demon child was the offspring of Guts and Casca brought into the physical world as a small misshapen child. It says after being tainted by Femto's rape of the pregnant Casca. So she was pregnant, all right, when they got together, right? And then Femto, all right, which is one of the characters' name is what's his name? Um, Griffith. His name was Griffith, and basically at the end, at the last episode, he turned into like a demon, and he raped Casca, okay, while she was pregnant, okay, which they didn't know in the last episode, but here it's saying it. So it says of pregnant Casca, it says the demon child appeared almost exclusively at night, but during the day manifested in the shadow area to avoid the sun. Okay, let's skip on down. All right, what I want to get, it says the demon child appeared as a misshapen fetus. All right, with a uh, reddened left eye. It says it was born of a minuscule creature. All right, now let's get teratoma. Doggone. All right, but you can look here. It says etymology. Okay, so this is the etymology, which means the beginning of a word or origin of a word. Okay, teratoma from ancient Greek. It says monster. Salakia. All right, so it says from ancient Greek. All right, monster. You see that? Okay, so it all connects. And you look back here, all right, with this show called Berserk, or this anime. All right, you scroll down. All right, and what did it call it? It says a demon child. All right, it's a misshapen fetus. So that's basically what you women have when y'all sleeping around with multiple men. Okay, hundreds of partners. It's ridiculous. All right, one man says it was born as a minuscule creature. It says, but only moments later grew exponentially until it rivaled a 7-month-old infant in size. It was hairless and had an infantile face with a tumorous bump. Okay, and what did they call this? A tumor. You see that ovarian teratoma? It's a monster, all right, that's inside you, and it's a tumor. You see that? So it all connects, man. All right, on its forehead that covered its right eye, each of its limbs ended in fingerless tendrils, necessitating that it crawled on its stomach when manifested, and it had a small tail. All right, and it's called a demon child. But they're saying that it's a rare condition, but who knows? You can't trust Esau Edom and what he says, especially in 2024, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this was coming and people just not saying nothing about it. Esau Edom is not going to tell you that this is occurring, because they telling you to do what you want to do. Okay, sleep with as many dudes as you want to be. All right, be free, what they call free. All right, which is a Luciferian doctrine, which goes back to Aleister Crowley. all right, which is Satan, all right, the devil that the Bible speaks of, which is what the so-called white man. Okay, so you can't trust in America and the things that it has to offer and what it says, man. All right, the scriptures tell you, all right, not to commit adultery, man. All right, and you women are supposed to have one man. Okay, and this could happen to you. All right, ultimately the Lord did that, man. Okay, this disease. And you watch this show, Berserk. All right, in that last episode, uh, all of it stems from the scriptures too. I'll do a lesson on this, Lord willing. But definitely got inspiration from the scriptures. This show, man. And it's very popular. It's like a cult classic. But the point being is that the Lord did this, man. All right, the Lord controls all diseases. All right, so yeah, this is a false article. Okay, a false article. All right, it is true. You do retain the DNA of every man you sleep with. All right, because it connects. Cells transfer. You go over here. It's talking about different cell types, which is from different men you slept with. All right, and it's a tumor. Okay, and teratoma means monster, which is what a creature. Okay, just like you saw in that picture. All right here. Okay, right here, teeth, eyeballs, hair, just a conglomerate of just flesh sitting in your ovaries, man. Right, for your adultery. Okay, but what I want to get, all right, is an account in Maccabees. All right, so this happened to Antiochus. Okay, so this is Second Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, about that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia. It says, for he had entered the city called Persepolis and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons put them to flight. It says, so that it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. So yeah, but they would fought him off. All right, the Israelites. Okay, all right. So let's get on down. It says, then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. It says, therefore commanded he him his chariotmen to drive out without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of the Most High now following him. It says, for he had spoken proudly in his sword. Yeah, he's thinking that he was going to pretty much exterminate all the Jews, kill them, okay, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Or he says that he will come to Jerusalem and make it common burying place of the Jews. So yeah, he wanted to kill him. It says, but the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. So yeah, unknown diseases. Okay, the Lord is going to do that again. All right, and this time the scriptures say that the Lord shall smite Egypt again with plagues as before. Okay, and he's going to do this. He's going to start plaguing, all right, you wicked, demonic Israelites and the inhabitants, which is consists of the heathen, all right, with these incurable diseases, man. Okay, so it says, or as soon as I'm going to start again. But the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless, all right, which means there's no cure, all right, just like this HPV virus called condyloma. What is that? Yeah, condyloma. All right, so it's incurable. All right, and you can still infect people. All right, and with no symptoms. Okay, so it says that was remediless. It says came upon him in sore torments of the inner part. So his man was in pain. It says, and that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. So you see that the Lord did that. It says, howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging. Or he's very proud, and just like Esau, Edom, the so-called white man is very proud. He think he above the Most High. It says, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain. So it was getting worse. It says, and thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea. So proud was he beyond the condition of man. So this dude was beyond proud. So proud, in fact, he was just ignoring the pain that he was dealing with. It says, and weighed the high mountains in the balance, now cast on the ground, and carried in an horse litter, showing forth unto all the manifest of the power of the Most High. Okay, so hey man, the Lord tormenting this guy, man. He fell off his horse. All right, they had to pick him up, put him in a horse litter. It says, so that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. Oh, that's disgusting, man. It says, and whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away. So his flesh was falling from off his body. It says, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. He stank, smelled like a corpse. It says, and the man that thought a little for he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. So he smelled so bad, his own men didn't even want to pick him up or couldn't pick him up because that smelled so bad. It says, here therefore, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride. So yeah, his pride started to wear out. It says, and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of the Most High, his pain increasing every moment. It says, and when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words, it is meet to be subject unto the Most High. So yeah, he humbled down. It says, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself if he were the Most High. It says, this wicked person vowed also unto the Lord, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying thus. So the Lord didn't show no mercy upon him. You see? So it says that the holy city to the which he was going in haste to lay it even with the ground, and to make it a common burying place, he would set at liberty. It says, and as touching the Jews whom he had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, it says, but to be cast out with their children, to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he would make them all equals to the citizens of Athens. All right. Let me see if there's any more on that. All right. So let's skip on down a little more. Okay. So it says, verse 17, yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself and go through all the world that was inhabited and declare the power of the Most High. It says, but for all this, his pains would not cease. It says, for the just judgment of the Most High came upon him. Therefore, despairing of his health, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwritten, containing the form of supplication after this manner. So the Lord killed him, man. Okay. The Lord didn't take away his disease or his pain. He was so wicked and so proud, the Lord just straight up smited him, all right, with this plague. Okay. So this goes to show that the Lord is in control of all this, man. All right. The Lord controls everybody and everything. All right. The Lord's spirit is in all things. Okay. All right. Whether good or evil. Okay. He's in control. All right. So let's get one more. We'll get Wisdom of Solomon. We'll start at it's chapter 16. And we'll start at verse we'll start at verse 5. All right, so it says, for when the horrible fierceness of beasts came upon these, all right, and let's talk about the wicked, all right, and it says, and they perished with the stings of crooked serpents, thy wrath endureth not forever. So once again, the Lord controls everything. He even controls the beast, all right, like lions, all the animals, all right. The Lord can put the spirit on that animal to take a man out, all right. You see it on videos, a dog, a man murdered or mauled to death by dogs, or a lion, various creatures. The Lord put the spirit on them to do that. Okay. So it says, for it was requisite, which means what he requested. All right. This thing to happen. So this was a request, right? That upon them exercising tyranny should come penury, which they could not avoid. Okay, so once the Lord puts these things upon you, you can't avoid it. All right, you can't escape. It says, but to these it should only be showed how their enemies were tormented. All right, just like in Second Maccabees. All right, Antiochus. All right, in Second Maccabees chapter 9. All right, he was tormented. It says, for when the horrible fierceness of beast came upon these, and they perished with the stings of crooked serpents, thy wrath endureth not forever. It says, but they were troubled for a small season, that they might be admonished, having a sign of salvation. So yeah, the Lord would torment you or put a certain hell upon you, all right, so that you will acknowledge, all right, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, okay, all right, to take your pride away so you can what, have a chance to be saved, all right, or pretty much to put away your pride, man, all right, because scripture say pride is the beginning of sin. All right. So it says, having a sign of salvation to put them in remembrance of the commandment of the law, of thy law. All right. You see, which is what the scriptures. Okay. You got our people 2/3 walking around here like they can't be touched. You know, walking around here like just because they got a little money in a bank or just because they got everything in society, they think that they can't be touched. Okay. So, they forget the law, and then what the Lord punishes these people, man. And that's why you're seeing them die. Okay, and that ultimate punishment is coming in Jacob's trouble, which is very near. Okay, so it says, verse 7, for he turned himself towards it, was not saved by the thing that he saw, but by thee, that art the Savior of all. So yeah, the Lord controls it all, man. It says, and in this thou madest thine enemies confess, just like in Second Maccabees that we just read. All right, he acknowledged the Most High towards the end. All right, but the Lord didn't show him no mercy. He killed him with that disease. Okay, it says that it is thou who deliverest from all evil. Okay, whether it's a shooting, whether it's getting ate up by wild beasts, a disease, all right, getting hurt, okay, disabilities, mental disabilities that come from the Lord. All right, that's nothing but evil spirits. All right, that's on a person. Okay, that's where the mental disabilities come from. Because what do you always hear? All right, like movies like The Exorcist. Okay, you know that say it's a psychological issue, but they don't acknowledge the spiritual things. All right, which is what demons is on that person, man. Okay, or that individual. It's a bunch of demons, evil spirits. Okay, and the Lord said He delivers from all evil. All right, so let's get to the point here, man. Let's go to verse 12. It says, for it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. You see that? So, hey, man, you can take all the herbs that you want. You can take Esau's medicine. You can go to his hospitals. Hey, man, if the Lord wants you dead, you're going to die, man. And those herbs are not going to work. Ultimately, it's the Lord. Okay? It's Yahweh Bashim Al Shah that heals you. Not the herbs, not the mollifying plaster, all right, that restores you to health. But it said what? But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. It says, for thou hast power of life and death. Thou leadest to the gates of hell and bringest up again. You see that? So there you go, man. So that's the point. So, hey, all right, you women out there, and that includes you men. Are you men? Stop sleeping with another man's wife. Can you have multiple women? Yes, you can. It's not expedient in this society. It's not wise to do. But can you have multiple wives? Yes, you can. But you women are ultimately, because this is mainly for you. All right, stop sleeping around. All right, one man. Okay, and we already went over adultery in one of my last lessons. Okay, the scriptures say that in order if you want to deal with another man, that's only if your husband is dead. Okay, that's the only time that you can deal with another man. All right, because the Lord is about to let loose on this place with these plagues, man. Unknown plagues. All right, old plagues like the bubonic plague, they could pop back up. All right, person was infected with the bubonic plague. That's spreading. Okay, so the Lord said He was gonna plague Egypt again. All right, as before with the plagues as before, man, in ancient Egypt, which we're in Egypt today. Okay, so that's pretty much it, man. All right, uh, you get the point. All right, so the Lord controls life and death. He controls the diseases. All right, let me read this again, and I'm gonna end it off. So it's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law. All right, which is what the scriptures says. Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. You see that? And that's pretty much it, man. So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Wala Yah, Bashem, Ashraf, give me the spirit to do this lesson. And Shalom.